May God's name be glorified. Today, we had lost a gem. Today we had lost a gem in our family, a main root that made us abide in the Lord. From my childhood, I've been always heard about the testimony of our great-grandmother, my grandmother's grandmother. And we often remember the verse from Timothy chapter 1. And I would like to read it to you, the verse 5, that is, "When I call to remembrance the genuine faith that is in you, which dwelt first in your grandmother Lois and your mother in US, and I am persuaded is in you also." Like Uncle had mentioned, do not judge a book by its cover. ഇന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെ ഇരിക്കുന്നതിൻ്റെ മെയിൻ കാര്യം, that's only because of our grandmother's prayer and her grandmother's prayer. ഞാൻ ആ ഒരു ഗ്രാൻഡ്മദറിനെ കുറിച്ച് കോട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ, my mother always used to say, I would like to be like that great grandmother. That is, I used to hear stories about, ഞാൻ ആ ആൻറ്റീനെ കുറിച്ച്, അമ്മച്ചിയെ പറ്റി stories I used to listen. പണ്ട് കേരളത്തിലേതോ ഒരു അസുഖം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. At that time, ആ സമയത്ത് everyone used to leave their loved ones, their family members, ആ വീട്ടിൽ തന്നെ വിട്ടേച്ച് പോകുമ്പോൾ ആ അമ്മച്ചി, അപ്പച്ചൻ എത്രയൊക്കെ ചീത്ത പറഞ്ഞാലും ആ അമ്മച്ചി എന്നും പോയി അവിടെ ഉള്ളവരെ നോക്കുകയും അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള ഫുഡും പല കാര്യങ്ങളും ചെയ്ത് കൊച്ചുമക്കളും മക്കളുടെ അടുത്തോട്ട് വരുമ്പോൾ അപ്പൂപ്പൻ എപ്പോഴും ചൂടാവുന്നൊരു കാര്യം പറയാറുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. And when I read, it is the same thing we could see in our grandmother also. Our grandmother didn't had too much name when she lived, but those who അമ്മൂമ്മയുടെ ചുറ്റുണ്ടായ പലവർക്കും അമ്മൂമ്മേനെ അറിയാം. The forgiveness she had for everything, the patience she had, the unity she had. She brought both my mother and aunt to the Lord. And she was a person who always used to spend a lot of time, not a lot, 3 times a day towards prayer. At times we could see during the noon time she bowing, മുട്ടുകുത്തി ആ ബെഡിൽ നിന്ന് പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുന്നത് കാണാറുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. മാത്രമല്ല രാത്രികളിൽ ഒരു 8 മണി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ we all will be gossiping, we all will be talking, but at that time she'll be going and praying there. One day, I'd like to also read a verse from Psalms 37 verse 7, that is, "Delight yourself also in the Lord, as he shall give you the desires of your heart." And another verse, this is 1 Corinthians chapter, I don't remember, and it is verse 9, that is, "But as it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor have entered into the heart of a man the thing which God has prepared for those who love him. But God has revealed them to those who, through his Spirit, for the Spirit searches all things, yes, the deep things of God." ഈ ഒരു വാക്യം ഞാൻ വായിച്ചപ്പോഴും when I was born again so many years back, when I had a conversation with my grandmother, and my mother didn't tell her. I didn't even tell my mother like I was born again. But at that time my grandmother asked me, "You are born again, right, Joe?" And the same verse once again, do not judge a book by its cover. She had given us, the one thing I would like to tell everyone is like she had spent a lot of time in her prayer, and that is the same reason we could be, നമ്മൾ റെവലേഷനിൽ വായിക്കുന്ന പോലെ ആ ഒരു വിളക്ക് ഇന്നും 5 തലമുറയായിട്ട് എല്ലാവർക്കും രക്ഷിക്കപ്പെട്ട് ആ ഒരു കൃപ ഞങ്ങളുടെ കുടുംബത്തിൽ ഇന്നുണ്ടാവാൻ ഉള്ള കൃപ, ഇറ്റ്സ് വൺ ഓഫ് ദാറ്റ് ബ്ലെസ്സിങ്സ്. She had spent a lot of cries to the Lord. Lord heard her desires. That's why he revealed it to my grandmother that your grandson is born again. I don't want to break down right now, but I don't know why. She lived a good life. She brought all her people towards the Lord. She fulfilled the duty as a mother, as a wife, as a grandmother, and also more than that, as a granddaughter of the great grandmother we honor. Even I remember few months back, aunt I shared എൻ്റെ ഒരു ടെസ്റ്റ് മണി എന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു ഒരു മാസം മുമ്പ് that she didn't even know. We went to Daya hospital, and I believe it's one of the nurses. She told, your mother used to come here. Vilimachi and Trishurama used to come here and say God's word, and that was not known to any of us. ആരോടും പറയാണ്ട് they used to just take a ladies trip outside, and none of us knew that they went to share the gospel to the sick ones in the churches. And she never ever told anyone about this thing. We came to know from that nurse that she and her sister used to come here, and later they were thrown out from the hospital, that not to enter into the premises with God's word. As kids, as grandkids, our grandmother and her siblings and everyone, our grandmother gave us a life lesson. If you spend your tears in the Lord, He will repay it back. Prayer is the one thing that held us all together. Yesterday mom told, ഇന്നലെ മമ്മി പറയുന്നുണ്ടായി, ലൈക്ക് ഇന്നലെ രാത്രി പ്രാർത്ഥനയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം എല്ലാവരും ഫുഡ് കഴിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നപ്പോൾ മമ്മി പറയണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഇഫ് തൃശ്ശൂരം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ she would have loved the moment. She would have even loved the moment we are united once again. I used to remember her. We had a busy lives, so many years. But every day, every birthdays, we used to get a call from an unknown number. She used to always switch our numbers. So we used to get a call from on our birthdays wishing us, and the one unknown call we know that is on our birthday was from our dear grandmother. We miss that person, but we are happy that God has given us a great grandmother, and in which she taught us good lessons, and we are ought to follow it. We also thank everybody here who supported, who came with us to this moment, who supported us even from all the assemblies for us through these moments. Please pray that even our generations hold and stay in the faith, not in the dominion, but in the faith. And we thank the Lord Almighty that she is happy right now with the Abba Father in which she really relied and prayed. May God's name be glorified.
Thank you, brother.